the Frames Per Second podcast.
Hey guys, it is your girl Naturally Nay here, and hi.
Hello.
I am here to we are reviewing the third season of Max's White Lotus. Welcome guys. So season 3 White Lotus, we are in Thailand this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start with asking you guys what your thoughts of in the season overall, starting with Kenneth.
My overall thoughts on the show hasn't changed, but Spike, you're right. I absolutely do love watching Just a Mess and seeing how they're gonna tell it, how it's gonna unfold. I feel like I think there was something I was looking for. I didn't get it, unfortunately, with the mess in this season. But overall, I it's fine. You know, I think it's a good appointment. Well, actually, me and my wife binged it, but
you binged this one.
Yeah, I was, because remember I had to catch up on season 1, season 2, and I had to wait for her to finish watching season 1 and season 2 as well. So it'll probably be something that we'll watch, every year now. So it'll be a series that we'll cover because we do have conversations about it. So it's just kind of something for us to do together. So that's I do cute. Enjoy that aspect of it because I don't think it's awful. It's definitely very watchable, and there are definitely a lot of things to talk about. So I do appreciate that. And you just kind of wait to see how it all unfolds. And it's just interesting trying to play the guessing game. But they do this thing where they slowly kind of build everything up, and then it's just like a quick acceleration downhill. So I think that's interesting.
Gotcha. What about you, Spike? How'd you feel about this season?
This season, I don't think I liked as much as the other two, but I did still enjoy it. I think there was a couple of storylines in here that were like, okay, I don't care. But the storylines that I did care about were really good. I liked the family, the whole thing that the dad was going through. I thought this was really good for some storylines, but other storylines just not as good. And I also wondered, like you said, you talked about other seasons. When they gonna start? They're gonna shut this White Lotus chain down. People keep dying,
right?
All of them. Like people died in 3 locations now. So that's one thing I thought about too. How long they can do this?
Mike.
Yeah, it's definitely my least favorite season. It's good, but this is the first season where I've just felt like there were useless storylines and plot holes that didn't go any, not plot holes, but plot lines that went absolutely nowhere. So I still liked it. I was still excited to watch every week, but after the wrap up, I'm like, okay, well, I called that, and it wasn't even like I called that and that was cool. It was like I called that and that was dumb. And there was not like a centralized theme the way the other 2 seasons did. There was, but it wasn't that cool of one.
Right.
Yes.
So
agreed.
Yeah, that's it. It's my least favorite, but it was still cool. Yeah,
this is my least favorite too, but I just didn't enjoy almost anything about this season, to be quite honest. This borderline. Somebody said in the Reddit that they felt like what they assumed Ken felt like watching seasons 1 and 2, and I really felt that. Like I'm like, oh, this is why Ken don't like it, because there wasn't, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 storylines that went to me nowhere. It just wasn't enough mess. There wasn't enough mess, or there wasn't enough of a theme, like you said, Mike, or a thread that I really felt like, oh, this is what they're trying to say, that to make me really enjoy what it was just, I literally felt like I was just watching some white people shit, and I really wasn't interested in this white people shit. So yeah, this was a big disappointment for me. I almost felt like I wished I would have binged it, because maybe that was the issue. But then when I sat down and I thought about it, I was like, no, because if I would have binged it, I would have been just as disappointed. I probably would have stopped. So yeah, this one was a big disappointment for me.
think this culture was the least interesting. Like the Italian culture and Hawaiian culture, I think was a lot more interesting than where they were this time too.
I
Ooh,
disagree
I
with
disagree
that. I
big
was
time,
most
yes.
interested in this. I
Really?
felt because
That
it was
was
the
the
biggest
least for me.
cultural difference. And I
Mhm.
feel like I almost feel like if I would have gotten more of the Thai culture, maybe I would have enjoyed it. Like maybe if there was more to Gay Talk and Mook's situation that other than, I mean, I could have got some gold digger shit in Atlanta. I don't need to go to Thailand to watch a Thai girl be a, I didn't need that. So if there maybe would have been more of that, even with like Shritala and all of that, like if there had been more of the cultural aspect, even if they would have dug a little bit more into the spirituality aspect that I felt like they were playing with, I would have enjoyed it a little bit more.
Yeah, the Buddhist side of the Guy Talk and Mook story I thought was interesting. I just don't think they really went super hard with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that Piper's quote unquote attraction to that culture and Buddhism in general, I thought was really interesting because that's very, very, very common, especially with young white women.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. They love the whole idea of Buddhism because they don't really fucking understand it. And they just think it's about being nice to everybody.
Yeah, like being
and that's kinda
kind.
it. You know, it's basically live,
Doing
laugh,
to
love,
others.
you know? So yeah, I thought the cultural part was actually really interesting. I mean, we'll get into it, of course, but my biggest issue is them 3 women could have jumped into a volcano and I would have been perfectly
I
fine.
liked them.
Oh,
That was-
I like
Jesus.
them.
Okay, so Spike, that was probably
I
the
like
only
them.
thing that I resonated with because I understand. Yeah, listen, they
Ugh.
yes,
Ugh.
women's relationships meets everybody. We talking about everybody behind each other's
Sure,
back.
men do that too.
And to see, yeah, and so to see the way that played out, there was something that I like kind of appreciated about it because I resonated with it, but it went nowhere.
Okay, so we're on the same page.
Yes, we are.
It went nowhere. That's my biggest issue. It went absolutely nowhere. And it
Ugh.
seemed like it was set up to be an interesting side story.
Yes.
But then it was just like, okay,
It's
what?
It's just 3 white women dealing with the fact that they getting older. Like, okay. So instead of going through this episode by episode, I was going to try and do it like by characters, like by storyline. So we can start with the 3 girls. So we've got Jackie, who is a actress. We've got Kate and we have Lori, who are 3 friends from like middle school. Yeah. Who are 3 friends from middle school. Lori is the
C stand for
divorce.
Caucasian.
That really bothered me.
It did.
Oh my God. It didn't bother you?
Yeah. I mean, it was some white people. There was some white people shit.
But it was just her, and it was only in that episode. And my girlfriend was like, "Why is that irking you so much?" And I was like, "Because it doesn't make any sense.
drugged.
Why is she doing? But why is she? What is this? And then she, why are you doing that? Someone had to do it."
She's
I was like, "Are you
right.
serious?" I think that was the actor. I don't think
Carrie
any
Coon?
of that was scripted. I think she just did that shit.
Laura
It
Durst.
fit.
Oh my
Nora
God,
Durst.
it was so annoying.
It was.
It was so
It did
annoying.
fit though. I agree with you.
If
It
it
did?
fit, if it with them 3 white women, yes, that fit.
Because you saw it, Mike. You
I didn't
knew-
see it.
You didn't think somebody was gonna do it?
Dude, this?
Yes.
No.
I did, because that's such a
Why?
white person thing to do.
It is, but I didn't see it. I didn't see it, especially not her
Yeah,
doing
but
all this shit. It's like, why are you doing that?
because she's the odd man out in the group. So she's
Got
always in a situation where she's trying to fit in.
you just made it make sense.
Yeah.
All right.
So it made a whole lot of
She's
sense.
awkward. She's uncomfortable. So
Yeah.
she's doing okay. All
She
right.
is. It's
All
like
right.
you've got Jackie and you got what's the girl Kate. They're the girl. They're the friends,
Yeah.
and she's the
And she's the
one
odd man
who's
out.
like just lucky. It's like she said it in. She's just lucky to be at the table.
You'd be lucky to be at my table doing that goofy ass shit. But yeah, I got that she was awkward and an outcast.
Yeah, but
I didn't connect it to the.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
thing is, she's only doing that goofy ass shit because she wants to fit in with
Got
them.
you. Yep.
So yeah,
Makes
she's the divorcee who I think she ended up having to pay her husband alimony. She got a kid who's acting wild, acting out after the divorce. You got Kate. What?
Pause real quick on the kid. Did y'all read that the original storyline was that her kid was going to be trans?
No, I didn't.
And I'm actually kind of glad they left it out. But they were, because remember when they were having the conversation about Kate being a Trump supporter?
Yes,
That was going to be a big catalyst as to why Lori was so upset during that conversation. But I was like, that would have been kind of corny. I think she can be upset about her being a Trump supporter without it being directly
related
lined
to,
up
yeah.
with. But when she was talking about the kid acting out, it was originally that the kid was going through
Gotcha.
transitions or whatever.
Well, yeah, I'm glad it didn't go that way. So Kate is just a standard white Christian Texas family, Trump supporter, and then you got Jackie, who is the movie star actress, who is married, but to another actor, but obviously there's some sort of strain and distance and lack of connection there. And we watch what?
I didn't get that. I got that because I assume I didn't get that she was strained from the husband. Maybe I missed it though.
They had a phone call where she was like, "I haven't seen you in so long."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I'm busy" or whatever. But I didn't necessarily take from that they were strained.
That's a strain to Jackie because she wants his attention. That's why
I think she wants anyone's attention.
Yes, I think she wants anyone's attention, but I would assume especially his. I got the impression that because she wasn't getting his attention, she was looking for it wherever she could get it.
Oh, see, I didn't get that. If you're referencing the whole cheating thing,
yes,
I got that she only did that because she didn't like the fact that she could potentially be one-upped by Lori.
Really?
Yes, because I think that she wanted to be top dog in every situation between those three friends. So when she was pushing Lori to go after the guy, and then she went and took him, I think that was intentional as fuck. And I don't think it was because, well, I'm strained for my husband and I just need some dick or I just need some emotional attention. I think it was all about one-upping Lori.
I think both things can be true at the same time. And I think that, yes, there definitely is a one-up that she wants to, but she put the idea of Valentine in Lori's head.
Yep.
So I don't necessarily know if that was an initial. I think it was like he's cute. You're the only one who should be dealing with him. So girl, go get that because I think he's cute. And then I go home and I go to my room. I can't get in touch with my husband. He's not calling me. I'm going to voicemail. So now I want attention. And so I think it's just situationally put her in a position to where I'm craving attention. I think he's attractive. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it.
I think she threw Valentin at Lori, not knowing if it would even work. And when she saw that Valentin might actually go for it, she swooped in and took her. Because she also brought up, or Lori brought up how she was fucking around with Kate's husband before they got married.
Yeah.
So I think this is just Jacqueline's thing. She always wants to
be attention.
She wants everybody to be looking at her and wanting her. And the second somebody, because I have friends like this, and the second somebody pays, this person attention, she has to swoop in and be like, no, I'm still here. It's about me.
I think I read that totally differently from what you're saying, Mike, in the sense, I don't even think she was considering. I think that she is egotistical. I agree with some of what you said, Nate. I think she just thinks about herself, and she wasn't even thinking about her when she called the guy. Like, this is just something because she craves attention, wanted to do.
But she could have fucked either one of those other guys too.
I don't think she thought they were cute.
Well, maybe not the big bald dude, but the other guy was all right.
The other guy, did his girl come or something?
I couldn't tell if that was his girl either.
Yes.
I thought it was, but
yeah.
So I think that she thought that he was the most available one, the most accessible. She called him. She probably knew he would go. I don't think she even considered the other girl because of some of the comments that she made about the decisions that the girl makes in her life anyway. When she was talking about like
her career and all that,
your career, like, are you really get bad? Is it really bad luck, or is it just you making bad decisions?
I don't know. I don't know how far I would take that because I mean, she specifically was trying to convince Lori to hook up with that dude. She knew it would be a problem if she went and fucked him.
I don't think she thought she was gonna take it that like we on vacation. Like I don't think she thought she'd take it like that.
I think she knew she would take it like that based on her.
Lori?
I think he's saying that he doesn't think that Jacqueline thought that Lori would take it that hard. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Yeah, I think Jacqueline knew for a fact that Lori would take that in a fucked up way. I just don't think she thought Lori would say anything because she's probably used to dogging Lori out, and Lori probably doesn't say. They all talk shit about each other,
right? Yes,
but Jacqueline is in the pyramid. She's the top dog. I think she did that because she was like, well, I'm the one that you should be trying to fuck, so I'm gonna go for it and whatever. She's a piece of shit.
And Valentin was actually honestly showing Lori the attention initially.
Yes.
So it may have been less about what Lori was or wasn't doing. It's just the fact that, he actually is into it. And you're looking at her and not me.
Right.
Yeah. This is such women, I swear.
I was just disappointed that was all it was.
Yes.
And maybe it was me, but as soon as I saw them get off that boat, as soon as I saw them cackling, oh shit.
Damn, bud. You got a dick in your mouth.
It
was a skit.
You that daddy little boy, like, wait a minute.
No, you don't remember from the. Never mind. What do you call it? Chestnuts? What do you call walnuts? You don't know that one?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do. It's on the It's on the Chronic.
Not nuts.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like chestnuts. It means you got a dick in your mouth. All right, never mind. All right.
Anyway,
Rod would get it. Where you at, bro? Rod would get that.
He would.
but
When they were cackling.
yeah, I mean, I maybe like a lot of people thought, oh, this shit's about to be some mess.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be probably the most interesting storyline.
I
I
so
did
as
too.
well.
Man,
Yep.
So disappointed.
Yep.
yeah, it really was. But at least Carrie Coon got her some. She lived her life.
That
Did
shit
she,
was
though?
hilarious.
Oh, that was so disappointing.
Really?
God, that was so. I mean, kudos, girl. Get your dick, but then for him to turn around and be like, "Can I get $10,000?" It's like, how satisfying is the dick at that point? If it's got to come with an ask for a wire of money.
But it goes to what Jacqueline was saying about her, that she makes really bad decisions. She only
Yeah.
fucked that guy because she needed to, like,
She should have fucked Valentine. That's
you
what
can't
she
fuck
should-
Valentine after your.
Well,
friend
she
just
only
fucked him.
did
Well,
really-
I can. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Then you feel like I feel like you're still gonna look at it like she won, because now I'm getting sloppy seconds. Like, my friend knew that I liked this guy. She pushed me to fuck this guy, and then she snuck in and fucked him.
And he still
I'm
came
mad
back.
about it. I mean, that Valentine would have fucked anybody at that point.
Yeah.
I mean,
He
all
seemed
of
like
them
the
would
hotel
because
hoe.
yeah, he
did.
seemed like
Like,
a-
he did. The
Streets
whole
of Lies, I mean,
hotel.
yeah, Streets of Lies pimping him out at this
Mhm.
point. Like, she's like, he's very
Mhm.
handsome.
Mm.
So
I
she
didn't get that. Did you?
What?
I'm definitely not one of those guys that's like, I can't tell when a guy's good looking.
Mhm.
Not at all. But I saw him and I was like, I don't see
It's
it.
an aesthetic. It's that whole Russian. It's an aesthetic that I think white girls are into.
It kinda look
I
like a
didn't
rat.
know that didn't make him.
It's
good
not
looking
even
to
so
me.
much the face. It's just the body and the persona. He's got tattoos. He's got a nice physique. It's a thing.
Okay.
It's a thing. You ain't got to be cute in the face, but I think that he was very much pawned off because he was supposed to be attractive. But I lost my train of thought.
Whoops.
I forgot where I was going with
But
this.
it seemed like she definitely did that because her other friend went ahead and did that, and she was basically trying to live their life after they had that big, conversation at the table.
Yeah.
Wait, who did what?
Lori.
Carrie Coon, Lori.
Yeah.
Like she
Lori went
she
fuck
wasn't
that
really
guy.
even living her life then.
No.
She wasn't.
No.
She
She
was just
wasn't.
out having her a good time, and she just went and got with Alexi.
She's trying to salvage something, which
Yep.
still ended up going horribly.
and it
for
seemed
her.
like that's a con that they run, on
Yes.
people.
So that's where I was going. I don't think Valentin was sincerely interested in any of them.
No, not
all
at
of them
all.
are just like opportunity, and
Yeah.
apparently they trying to get money and whatever. They're scammers,
Mhm.
and those girls were easy marks.
They were like
Yep.
the gay guys in season 2, huh?
Okay, I can see it. I can see it.
That's what it looked like. It didn't fully go there, but
Yeah,
It was
um,
written so much better last.
Yeah,
it was.
I did like Carrie Coon's monologue at the end at
Ooh.
the table. You didn't like that?
I liked
that was
it.
one of the
I
best scenes.
felt it, but it was so sad.
It was
Sad?
sad. It was.
Yes, it was very sad. I think it was a very
It was.
yes, I liked it. The way she performed it, I think it was interesting. It's something that I think in friend groups, men or women, is never said. There
Mhm.
is often a time where it's like you got two people or people in a clique that are really good friends, and one is just kind of off or just trying to be involved, and especially with how long they've been friends, like for her to have settled with just being okay with
Yep.
being at the table is so sad.
Yep.
Mm.
You ain't like it, Mike?
No, I think her acting in that scene was excellent,
Mhm.
but that was the most hollow bullshit speech.
Really?
Yes, like Jacqueline is a piece of trash. She's a garbage human. Kate's all right. Kate's okay, and all I get is, I'm glad you have a pretty face. Jacqueline sucks.
She does.
So to give that speech in that moment, I was like, I don't like this. This is not a good ending for their story. And that's the main thing that made me so disappointed in the story with the three women. I didn't like that happily ever after ending.
Yeah.
It's so
Ain't
real
that what
though.
friends do though? Like I think that's a normal thing amongst friend groups like that age too.
Sure, but in a show like White Lotus, I don't really need this to be a buttoned up. We are still buddies, even though you are a trash person. And I didn't even get that Jacqueline was sorry enough. She just came in that one, just want you to know I'm sorry. We can talk about it later. But I just want you to know I'm sorry. You ain't fucking sorry.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, nothing happened. Kept lying. Which I mean, take that shit to the grave.
Yeah.
I don't blame you for that. But for her to turn around and say, it just sucks to see that my friends are talking about me behind my back when that's what the fuck you were doing.
Right?
Did you forget that you were doing the same thing? The nerve of you to really believe that.
And then you want to gaslight me and act like I'm the one that's being mean by talking about you. You were doing it though, and you knew it would hurt me. Yeah. But then at the end, I'm gonna be sitting here crying, talking about I'm glad you have a beautiful life. You don't have a beautiful life. Your life sucks. Your life sucks. You're trying to get attention from everybody. Your life is fucking sad, dude. Your life is sad. If anything, Lori being the outcast has a better situation than this other fucking girl does. Jacqueline sucks, dude. I didn't like that shit at all, man.
Oh,
I wanted Lori to fucking steal on her. All that fucking this shit. Boy. I wanted you to fucking take that energy and put it into fucking Jacqueline's chin. That's what I wanted.
I did like when they realized that Kate voted for Trump. I thought that shit was
funny.
When she was
like, what do you expect?
When she did the facial, like, are we really gonna talk about politics? I was like, yo, that's so white.
Yeah, very.
I thought Kate was all right though. Kate was cool. She didn't really cause any problems intentionally, I don't think. But it's like, I just feel like Jacqueline just got away with everything. She had no consequences for anything that she did.
And nothing. I assume that's just the way her life has been, right? So, it was 3 middle school girls doing middle school shit.
Yeah.
I really thought that at some point in time, I was hoping that while I thought it was impactful, it was not impactful in the way that I wanted Lori to be impactful.
Yes.
I too wanted her to we didn't talk about the show opens up with shooters, right? So did anybody think that Lori was the shooter?
No, I never took
not at all.
I didn't either. I didn't think any of those 3 ladies were. So I was curious to see how they were going to play into the way the season ended up. But yeah, I was really disappointed with the way that
and Lori. Talk about piece of shit, Mike. When the shooting took off,
Lori
see how fast she was
on their
ass.
Lori was gone.
On their ass.
She didn't even look back.
No,
she
they got a full stride,
bro.
They got
Lori
a meme
was
of that.
gone.
Like, man.
and I'm not
man.
mad at her.
I'd
I'd have been Lori.
Yep, me too.
So, okay, moving from the friend group, let's talk about the other piece that I wish they would have gone further in, which was Guy Talk and Mook and the tie. So Guy Talk is the security guard at the White Lotus. Mook is one of the I don't know exactly. I don't know. She a concierge,
like a
hostess, whatever. She works at the hotel. They obviously are friends outside of this. We see him pick her up. The show opens up in the first episode. He gives her a ride to the hotel. He's obviously we see he's smitten with Mook off rip. And they seem to be friends initially. Guy Talk stops or he doesn't stop a robbery. He gets pistol whipped by some robbers and spends the entire season trying to make up for that failure and dealing with being someone that he's not for the sake of securing the hotel and a good job. And Mook, the apple of his eye, wants him to be ambitious and go for the power. What do we think about this here, Guy Talk?
Hated it.
This was so uninteresting to me. Like, I did not one episode did I care about what they had going on.
I tried because at one point I thought he was going to be the shooter, especially when he was being overlooked by and disrespected by the bodyguards. And he was like, constantly wanting to be seen. This episode dealt with a lot of identity. And it was like, I want to be seen. I want to be seen by Mook. I want to be seen by Shreedala. I want to be seen as this guy. I want to be seen as doing a good job. And But he was really trying to get her. He was trying to put on airs to be a person that he was, but he wasn't. But it just wasn't interesting. I didn't feel like there was enough drama between the two of them, because I was like, you clearly don't like this guy. Now you like him, and now you don't like him again. It was just, it didn't really do it for me.
Mook ain't shit.
She ain't.
What you thought
She
about
ain't.
Guy Talk and Mook?
I disagree slightly. I thought the story was interesting. I just don't think they went anywhere interesting with it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that their dynamic was very, very interesting, because it started off with he's this innocent guy and she's this innocent girl, and he's into her, but she's not really into him, and he's trying to get her to go out with him, all that. So I thought that was cute until they had this weird heel turn for Mook. Then I was like, this is weird. And I was like, okay, I guess we hate Mook now. So I don't know. I just don't think it went like super far as being interesting. But I do think where Guy Talk's story ended up was actually interesting.
Him losing his innocence.
Him losing his innocence and breaking away from his religion, especially when you look at Lori's speech about religion. I think that it was really interesting that they had Guy Talk actually breaking the rules of his own religion to kill this man just because Sritala said so, and because he thought that would get him in a better position with Mook.
When did you feel like Mook made the turn?
That's what I was going to ask.
It was like the second to last episode. I think when you go back and look at some of the things she said before that, she was always that person, but I think she let it loose more when they were at that fight, which I think was the second to last. I think that's when they kind of show her making that turn, because you can tell that Guy Talk was like, what is she saying? You know, this is not her normal position. I know she wanted him to be ambitious and she wanted him to excel at his job, but at that fight, she was pushing it like, you're a bitch and you need to stop being a bitch. And I was just like, why is she
what made her
like
interested in Guy Talk all of a sudden? That's what I missed.
So the way I took it was, she at the end, she was just more open about who she always was, right?
Yep.
So I think what made the turn was when when she saw that he could possibly have an opportunity to move up after that robbery.
Oh,
right. And the idea of, because he said to her, he was like, I talked to Shitala and I asked her, I told her if she needs somebody to work with her in Bangkok, that I do it. So I think she saw, he might move up in the world. But from episode 1, she wasn't showing him no attention. She was talking to them bodyguards. And it's like he had to pull. It's like, that's who she always wanted. And she saw, he likes me. And he might actually end up being the main bodyguard.
Which he did.
Let me latch on to him. She is a piece of shit. I did not know that Thai girls was gold. I mean, gold diggers is everywhere, but I just really thought that it be some sort of moral integrity with this religion.
I was looking it up, and I don't even know if it's about money. I think it's more just about power and status.
She would say it was. She never actually said money. It was like, I thought that. I think almost like you want to be somebody.
Yep. She would look at it like she's pushing him to be more ambitious, but I think it's more so she just wants a man that is in a position of power.
She was so disappointed when he acknowledged that he wasn't. Like when they were out on that date.
Yeah.
Like she just completely checked out.
I was like, Guy Talk, come on, bro. You're a good looking guy. You're sweet. You suck at your job.
He's terrible.
But the only reason why he sucked at the job is because of her. He was always walking away to find her.
Yeah, but he let Valentine distract him to a lot of guys going.
And they got popped upside the head.
Because he was just happy to, I forgot how it went down.
Yeah, he was inviting him to the fight.
Yeah, yep. So he was just happy to be included.
And even when the gun was stolen, he couldn't even go through with making the dad, I forget his name.
You got evidence.
You got a fucking video evidence, and you're still not doing. I'm missing something. The dad's like this.
Okay.
And
poor Guy Talk.
No, he pissed me off by the end of the season. I was like, bro, what?
And I really thought, like, him especially once he identified who the robbers were, that was gonna go somewhere. That went nowhere.
This sure didn't. I was disappointed in that.
There was a lot of things that didn't go anywhere. So since we're on the staff of the hotel, we have Porn Chai and Belinda. So we have Belinda coming back. How happy were we to see Natasha Rothwell on episode 1?
I was glad she was back.
I was too, and I was like, I hope they don't kill her.
Yeah.
I thought that's what was going to happen too.
Yeah, I think that was everybody that I've talked to about this season. That's the consensus. They thought that Belinda was going to be, and maybe that's because her son was looking for her in the beginning, so they kind of led us astray with that. But yeah, so Belinda's back. She's here to learn about Thai massage and learn from the Thai staff, and she's been matched up with Porn Chai as her team lead. Honey, what we thought about this little couple? Did we like Belinda and Porn Chai?
Nah, it seemed forced.
Oh my God, thank you, Spike.
It seemed.
It did.
Yeah, it seemed forced.
They seem like the same people to me.
It was
Really?
never believable to me. And so the whole time I was like, oh, he's lying. He's a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
I just never believed that they would be a couple. No.
I thought it was so cute, guys.
Yeah,
It was
I
cute,
saw it,
but
yeah.
it just didn't. They didn't sell it for me, I don't think.
Yeah, I was happy for her, but yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah.
He was smitten with her.
Yeah, he was gone.
Porn Chai wanted him some black meat.
Mhm. Yeah. he
That's what was
gone.
throwing me off, I think.
Really?
Because it was like, I just don't get how this relationship escalated that fast. And then I kept thinking, okay, maybe he's bullshitting because he just wants that money. That she was going to help him open up a spa or whatever. So I thought maybe he's just bullshitting, but I don't think he was bullshitting. I think he really did like
Yeah.
her.
He liked
did.
off rip.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think Belinda was just oblivious to the signs he was trying to put out. He asked her out to dinner. He's like, I figured we could have dinner and talk. Like he was trying to, it seemed like as soon as he saw her, he was trying to be in her company. And I think he came out with his shirt all out. Like
where you want me.
Right. How you want? Yeah, exactly. So I think that he was very aware. I think that they seemed like very much to me like the same people. The Belinda that we met in the first season and Porn Chai were the same people. And he was sincerely attracted to her. So I thought it was really cute. And it made me really sad with the way it ended up.
I did too, because she basically did him
She was
like Tanya did
Mhm.
her.
Yeah.
Yep. Completely. Like,
Yeah.
and he was so sad. I was like, dang, that's so messed
And
up.
she did not care.
No, she just waving.
She just got $5 million.
Shit,
The
I'm
ending
good.
really bothered me.
Who?
The ending.
I think the biggest difference. My bad.
No, go ahead.
I thought the biggest difference between Tanya and what she did is Tanya presented that whole situation to her. Didn't he ask her about the
She
song?
presented that whole thing. She
Oh, she
told
did.
him that
I
that's
thought
what
that
she
he brought
wanted
that
to
up.
do.
He did. He brought that
It
up.
was his idea.
I thought
Yeah.
Well,
his
it
idea.
was his idea, but she brought up the fact that she was here and that she had desires to open up a salon back home.
Mhm.
But she
or
wasn't
a
offered.
studio.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Go
No,
ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was done.
I never took it as she was bringing that up to invite him to
Yeah.
join.
Okay,
I think that might be what you're getting
Yes,
at.
that's
Yeah.
exactly what I
That
was
he was bringing up the idea of them two going into business
He
together.
did.
Which I get that, but I think the correlation between her and Tanya was because she even said some things that were very similar.
Very similar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the exact details, but basically, like my life has changed.
It's changed for me.
Yeah, things have changed for me, which is isn't
It's
that
what
kinda
Tanya said.
Yeah.
Same
It is
thing.
very
Yeah,
much
she
so.
met
Yep.
Greg. So the difference between what Belinda did and what Tanya did is Tanya always had money. She met a man and things changed. Belinda met a man, and then once she got the money, things changed.
Mhm.
So, but and to bring back, so Belinda sees Gary,
Gary
Great.
Gray,
Mhm.
Greg,
Sean
And-
McDermott, the radio hermit.
right, and she eventually puts two and two together. She realizes that Tanya's dead, and Gary Gregg has come into all of her money, and
Mhm.
she manages to basically extort him.
That was so good. I loved that scene with her and her son and like them negotiating.
I hated it.
Really?
I hated her son.
Oh my God! Thank you.
Well, I
Nate.
didn't like the son, but I do think that his thought process was right. He was like, if he gonna offer you 100,000, like just
His
more,
thought
it's more
process
there.
was right, but I didn't like that scene at all, dude.
I liked it because she nailed the negotiation in the sense of when she walked out.
Yes.
Like that sealed the deal. And at first it seemed like she wasn't on board, but then she had this brilliant thought to be like, you know what? I'm gonna act like I don't fuck with none of this, and that's gonna make me more likely to get the $5 million. I thought that was dope.
It was a great idea. It just didn't seem like the Belinda that they've sold to us from season 1 until now.
I was going to say something. So I agreed until I literally just thought about it. This is exactly who Belinda always was, because she was only playing Tanya to get the
For the
money to
money.
begin with.
She wanted Tanya money.
Sure, but I never took it that she was playing Tanya because
She
Tanya,
looked at it like a lick.
Yeah.
She thought Tanya was crazy.
She was
as hell.
only-
Well, sure, but I don't think they ever gave the impression that Belinda was like, "Fuck Tanya, I don't even like this bitch." I don't.
Yeah,
she
she
didn't say that, but I don't think that they gave that impression.
They did.
I think they did.
They did to me,
If you
because
go
the
back
only
and
reason
watch
she never wanted to spend time with her until Tanya started talking about investing.
She
Sure,
looked at her
because
like a
Tanya was
weirdo.
annoying and crazy,
Yeah.
but
Right.
I don't think it was. I don't know. I think that they were selling us this idea of Belinda being this really virtuous, good person,
Mhm.
and you didn't get that.
No.
I do think
I
that
thought
they
that
were
she was trying to manipulate Tanya.
I never got a manipulation.
Really?
No, because it was Tanya's idea. How I manipulate you into coming up with an idea?
Well, yeah,
because
what
I
she
wouldn't be
found out,
stroking
though.
your hair and singing to
Right.
you if I didn't know. So I do think it was a subtle manipulation, and I think they did. That was part of the thing that I liked about first season. It's like, how much of this is Belinda playing Tanya or Tanya playing Belinda? So, but to Mike's point, I do think they were trying to sell us that Belinda was the sweet person.
Yeah.
Now that she has the opportunity to actually get the money, we see that there was honestly malicious intent and manipulation between her and Tanya that never went anywhere.
Yeah, if they were trying to sell us that she was just a manipulative person the entire time, then they wouldn't have spent all that time on Belinda struggling with what do I do, and then her being super awkward when Greg showed up and was asking her to come to the house, and she was like, I don't know what to do. I don't think they would have sold us that. I think they would have made it to where she was quick on her feet and could figure out exactly what to do in those moments. And we have her arguing with her punk ass son about whether or not she should even take the money. So I think if they were trying to sell us this idea of her being a manipulative, money hungry person from season 1, then it seems weird that they would even show us her debating
Struggling with it.
taking blood money.
Why do
You know what I
y'all? First of all, that's a hell of a come up by Greg Gary.
For real.
500 million, is that right? $500 million. That's
Bruh.
crazy.
And we
was like-
still don't
and the
know
son
what the
was still
con.
like,
We
"This
still ain't getting the
10%?"
story on the con.
No,
Right.
but
Con.
5
With
million,
Tanya.
Killing Tanya.
5 million ain't shit for
think
him.
we
Like
know.
that's interest, bro.
Right.
Like that was crazy. So
I mean, Zion is good at math.
He said he was.
yeah,
so-
no, he
Was
is.
that
Why
true?
y'all don't like
Did
the
he say he
kid
was
though?
a NBA?
He's annoying as fuck.
I liked him.
He was not who I was expecting her son to be. I think given the way they presented Belinda, it's like there was this fakeness about him, and like the way he was like putting on
Definitely.
just got under my skin. It's like he felt almost sleazy.
Yes. And I feel like that was the actor. I don't know that was so much the character. I feel like the actor just wasn't playing that role well.
He
You know-
plays like that. He's
He's been in other stuff.
He's in Bel Air.
Oh,
He
no,
played the-
said.
Yeah, he's in Bel Air. He like Will's nemesis, and he told on
Oh.
Carlton and some shit. Yeah, like he plays the exact same role in Bel Air.
He because he's always been that guy.
Who
'Cause-
has?
Her son, because remember in the first season, he was the one that was pushing her to take the money off rip.
Yeah.
I don't even remember him in the first season.
Yeah,
was
it was
always
on the
over the
phone.
phone.
On the phone.
Yeah, and she was like, "Yeah, this woman offered to pay." He was
Oh,
like, "Mom,
yeah.
you better take
Yeah.
that money. What you doing?"
Yeah, but
And he was the one that convinced her to do it.
Sure, but give me a different actor to do that. But like that I just didn't like the turn for Belinda. It just didn't. I mean, Belinda got the money she deserved to begin with, because this is what Tanya promised her.
Right.
So her getting the money isn't really the problem. I feel like it was just like an episode turn, and it reminded me a lot of The Acolyte with the annoying twin that kept being like, "I want to kill off all the Jedi. No, I don't. Yes, I do. No, I don't." It felt like
You
that
know
because it
what?
was like this wasn't really earned.
You're right, because money will change, and that's what
It
we
does.
saw. Like when it was 100 million, 100,000, that ain't shit. She was like, "Nah, I'm good." But when it changed to 5 mil, she was like, "Okay, now that's different.
Mhm.
This is what Tanya always wanted." Did y'all think 100,000 was too low? Because I did.
I didn't think
would've
about it until
took
he said
it.
something.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
And the
I would've
son was
took
like,
it.
nah.
You would have took 100,000.
Listen, that's 100,000.
Yeah.
Okay,
100
I'm working on my mindset, Ken. I'm working on. I'm trying to get there, but I probably would have been like, "Ooh, okay."
Yeah, I would have took it too. I wouldn't even thought about I can get $5 million.
Well,
I
they
wouldn't even
thought
thought
a
of it.
million, and then the son just blurted out 5
He
million.
did the
Right,
research and
right,
saw
right.
how much he actually got.
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't have thought to do
I
that.
like her face, like when she's like spit on water.
That-
$5
yeah.
million.
Because so she went from I don't want to take it to the son convincing her, and then you're right. Then all of a sudden it's like I'm gonna fake walk out, but I'm all in now. So that was fairly quick. But as soon as he had 100,000, I was like, bruh, all this money they got. Now, if she stayed in Thailand, that money goes a long way.
Yeah,
Over there.
and that's what I thought she was gonna do.
Yeah.
Because $100,000, me a porn star. Come on, boo, let's go.
Oh man, you living great.
I'm set.
$1,000 is you rich. with
And then you
$1,000
can
over there.
still open your salon. You're investing, and then you can still invest in your salon
Mhm.
and create a whole life for yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah,
100,000. I'm having like 12 porn jobs. Fuck that.
Porno child.
Porno
Bless
jobs.
bless it. So that was Belinda and Zion.
Real
Before,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say they had a storyline. Mike White, the writers, talked about that the son and the daughter of the family.
I'm glad that didn't happen.
they didn't do
You
that.
say what?
Piper.
The son and Piper were supposed to hook up.
Thank God they don't do that.
It would have
Thank
just
God.
been too much of forcing
Him
the
Piper,
storylines
Piper.
together.
Mhm.
I was just gonna say, like, I didn't
Heard
like
you,
the end with Belinda and Zion when they left, because it seemed like everyone was acting like a murder didn't just happen. We're just gonna get on the boat the next day, bye, and everybody's just happy and smiling. It's like, yeah, you're rich now, but like 2 minutes ago you saw a dead body floating in the water,
and you thought it was your mom.
and that goes for all of the storylines.
Yeah.
Everyone behaved this way, and I thought that was super bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What it was kind of too. You're right, but it also was kind of everybody was in their own little worlds. Like they had this other stuff going on. Like the family had that stick going on, and then Belinda had the money thing going on, and the girls had their interfighting going on.
Sure, but they were all involved with the murder, because especially the girls, they were there.
Yeah.
And then the next scene, y'all just hugging up and drinking
true.
wine and shit. What?
That's
You
true.
were just there when
The
some
dinner
old man got
scene was
shot.
after. I thought they got shot after the dinner scene.
No, when I think the very last time or maybe I'm mixing things up, but I thought the very last time we saw the girls is when they were all hugged up on each other, and Lori was like laying in Jack.
That was
lap.
after
that
dinner,
before?
and then I think the next day they got up because they were about to hit the boat, and they were taking pictures with Srishala and her husband.
Okay, so what's the last time we see the girls? Is it them running away from the shooting?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought the other thing was after that.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, okay, so I'll take them out. The way Belinda and Zion were acting still bothered me, and the way the family acted after that still bothered me, because all of y'all were still involved in this murder that just happened.
Yeah.
So I thought that was bizarre.
So let's talk about the family, the Ratcliffs. Now I know
Hell of a name.
Yeah, I know. We
Ratcliff.
said Spike. You said you liked them. This was probably my least favorite. This is my least favorite. I don't understand. And maybe I just need y'all to help me. I don't understand what. There was so much innuendo between these three kids.
That was weird.
It was the incestuous part. I just don't
so
understand where this all came from. There was this weird tension. So we've got the mom and dad. What's his name? I don't know their names.
I think her name was like either Nicole or Natalie.
Her accent, hilarious. Her accent.
She was good.
Parker Posey.
Parker Posey, so good.
She was-
Victoria is her name.
She was that was the only comic relief in this for
Mhm.
me.
Gosh,
But-
she's so good.
You're not from China.
Right.
You're gonna stay in Taiwan?
Be a monk.
Oh,
Right.
that shit killed
So
me.
we've got drugged up Victoria. We've got the dad. Jesus, where are these people's names? The dad, Rick. So we've got Rick.
Rick is the other guy.
No, you're right. You're
Rick is
right.
the guy with the buck tooth.
Thomas?
Timothy.
Timothy
I was
Ratcliff.
close. You were close. I got the T.
Right. You've got the daughter Piper, Lachlan, and Saxon. So Timothy. Timothy, the dad.
Timothy.
The dad is in some sort of finance, real estate, whatever. He's a businessman. Saxon works for him. And the situation with the Ratcliffs is the dad has been implicated in some racketeering case or whatever, and he's going to be sued and lose his business and lose everything,
Possibly go to jail,
and possibly go to jail. So he's looking at how materialistic his family is, and trying to figure out what he's going to do. You've got Saxon and Piper and Lachlan. Piper is a fake Buddhist who wants to do her thesis on this monk and has brought them to Thailand. You've got Saxon, whose whole identity is based in him following in his father's footsteps, and he's a horned up, toxic masculinity. And then you got Lachlan in the center of this, who he says himself, I'm just a people pleaser in a family full of narcissists, and somehow I don't know how that ends up to you jacking your brother off, and I don't understand any of what's going on with these kids. Help me out, please.
I got nothing. Go ahead, Spidey. It's on you, bro.
Oh, yeah, it's on you, man. What you got?
I think
Why the kids want to sleep with each other?
Why he jacking off his brother, Spike?
I think that they were leaning towards them being like country bumpkins and incestuous history in the country with shit like that. Like you hear about that, but on the kids, I ain't got anything either. You did a good thing as far as the people pleaser for the youngest child. The girl is just confused and doesn't know what's going on. What I did like about this storyline is how they were all in La La Land, and the dad realizing it, being like, I've raised and am at the head of a family full of fucking crazy people. And then him having to deal with that throughout the show and wondering what he was going to do about it, and then changing his mind at the last minute. What I thought was really good, to go to the end a little bit, how they wrote the youngest son. And I was like, who the fuck would use a blender and not wash it out?
Yes,
like, who would do that and not wash it out? But then I thought about it, that little boy would be the only motherfucker to do that, and it made sense. So I thought that
That
was
shit
really
should have been dried up though, a little bit. It's been sitting out overnight.
I mean, maybe it was, and maybe that's why we got the ending we did. But yeah, shame on you for not raising a son who would wash a blender out for you.
Yeah.
Facts. But don't he seem like a little boy that
With
wouldn't wash a
spoiled
blender
milk.
out? Yeah, exactly.
So I thought that too.
What?
That he should have washed it out.
Oh.
Because that shit was leftover spoiled milk from the night before. But then my girlfriend brought up a good point, was like, he probably just thought that was leftover from Saxon's shake. So when that happened, I was like, oh, you know what? You're right.
And he probably never used a blender.
I can see that.
That part,
Because remember, he asked him to make, earlier they dropped a little line, he asked his brother to make him one.
I think he only asked his brother to make him one because he wanted to bond with him.
Yeah.
I'm sure he knows how to use a blender.
I'm not sure, Mike. I promise you. If that little boy told me I don't know how to use a blender, I'd be like, I believe you.
And this is where me and my girlfriend argued. I don't think there was ever any incest happening. I really, really, really don't.
You mean prior to the threesome?
Yes. Well, yeah, definitely. She was looking at me like, this motherfucker crazy. What is it?
She had to clarify, like, wait, I know I saw this.
No. I mean, before that.
I don't think there was either, but it was like this hint of like even
They
when
were
they first
playing
came
with it,
in,
See,
and he was like, you can't sleep because y'all have grown genitals. Like, I'm like, what is this?
It's white people.
He's saying
And
his
that's
sister.
why I had to tell her. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying he said his sister fine or whatever, hot was how he described her.
Yeah,
I know white boys like that, Ken.
What?
I'm telling you, yes,
You're not lying.
white boys
White
are
boys
like
do
that.
yeah.
Where I don't think there was ever any incest. First of all, I think Saxon's a fucking incel. I think he sells this whole idea of him being the man, but we see he's terrible with women. So I think what it is he's trying to sell this impression of himself.
It's a numbers game, Mike.
I don't even know if it's. I don't think he's got numbers.
He said it's a numbers
I wouldn't be
game.
surprised if he was a virgin.
Uh,
I think that he works on his body. He thinks he's the man, or he tries to act like he's the man. But I don't think that there was ever any sort of incest. And when my girlfriend was saying this, I was like, I don't think so. I think that they're just fucking weird.
Mm.
And when she was like, well, he keeps going up there and like tickling his sister and making comments. White boys do shit like that.
That
They
is
do. And I hate to be, I know people are, oh, you're being racist. I don't know any black folks that act like this, but I know plenty of white kids that do this type of weird shit. Like you go and you smack your brother in the balls and type shit. They
Right.
do that. So I don't think that there was ever a situation where Saxon was fucking around with Piper. I think what was going on, and I think the people pleaser thing was bullshit.
Mm.
I think that Lachlan is just extremely confused about where he fits in everything. I think he's confused about his sexuality. He's confused about where he fits in with the family, and he's confused about where he fits in with the world, which is why he was trying to like leech on to Piper's thing
And be a monk.
and go be a monk.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
especially if you consider his sexuality issues, you know, he might want to go be a monk because he doesn't want to give in to the fact that he might be queer. Because the people pleaser thing doesn't explain why he was looking at Saxon's ass like he was.
Yep.
And that's what I was telling my girlfriend. She was like, well, he said he's a people pleaser. Sure. But when Saxon got up to go jerk off, Lachlan was like,
To the point Sass had to close the door on his ass.
right. That's not people pleasing.
Well,
That's
why are you jerking off in front of him to begin with?
because that is Saxon. That's him just being this like gross, toxic man kind of guy. You know, I need to go squeeze one off and you're in here. Well, fuck it. You're gonna have to just hear me jerking off. I could 100% see that just being a normal thing.
But remember, he was going to do it in front of him, but then he got up and left and went to the bathroom because his brother was in there.
Yeah, because his brother was probably looking.
Yeah, because he felt uncomfortable. He's like, okay, I can't do this with you in here.
It's like, you going to use
So
lotion?
I'm
You going to
gonna
dry
go.
jerk it? What you...
But, you know, so his brother finally got a chance to,
help him out.
yeah.
Yeah, that whole scene. And the thing is, I was like, oh, he's some level of queer. And my girl was like, no, I think it's just like an incest thing. I was like, all right. So when they kissed, I was like, I fucking told you. I told you. Like, this is them being weird. And she's like, well, no, it could still be incest. I'm like, you're right. When we find out later that he jerked him off, I was like, I don't think this is incest because Saxon was
repulsed.
bothered.
Yes, even by the kiss, remember?
Yeah.
Yes.
He looked a little like, oh my God, I can't, like,
Yes.
oh, jeez.
Because Lachlan was like, cool, all right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he goes
And he
for
was
it.
still smiling afterwards.
I thought he was gonna shoot himself. I thought, oh, that's
Who,
Saxon?
I
Yeah.
did too.
That's who gonna
Yeah,
happen.
I did too.
Definitely thought that was gonna happen.
Because afterwards, he's like, he was talking with Courtney and getting these books on enlightenment and stuff. And I was like, is he going to have a break?
Yes, I think it was after that happened, and after him seeing the relationship that, what is her name? The
Courtney,
buck-
Chelsea.
and Rick. Chelsea
Chelsea
and Rick.
had towards Rick. I think that was when the turn happened that he really wanted that.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to just go fuck a bunch of girls. It's not really a numbers game. That's just what guys are supposed to say. I think he really did want a relationship. That's why we see his face when Chelsea runs to Rick and jumps.
He was,
And he looked sad.
yeah.
So I think their story was actually the most interesting one.
Chelsea and Rick,
No, the family.
the family.
I thought their story was actually really good, and I was this felt more like White Lotus to me.
Agreed.
I felt like it should have felt like White Lotus to me. It just didn't. And I think it's because, like, I just couldn't figure out what all this innuendo was. I thought maybe we have a family who's so self-centered and so narcissistic that they desire themselves. And then I thought that with the
Maybe.
whole conversation, because I'm still trying to figure out what Sam Rockwell's monologue was about with the ladyboys, and he wanted to fuck himself. So I was trying to figure out.
Funniest.
That's
It
a
was.
thing. That's a
It
thing.
is? I
looked
don't
it
know
up.
this thing.
Yeah, I
God
looked it
damn,
up.
that
Hold
was
on,
funny,
and I wrote
boy.
it down in my notes.
Yeah, they got a whole got a whole like
How you
section
know?
of man
No.
boys.
I mean, I get the. I
It's a
get.
common
We
thing.
should stop calling them man boys. by the way.
Oh well, that's
Yes.
what they call
Auto-
themselves on the thing that I see.
Yeah, because never mind. I'm not gonna get into that. But yeah, it's called autogynephilia. And it's a condition where a male is aroused by the idea of himself as a woman.
And I think
So it's not so
Lachlan-
much a trans thing. That's the part that's actually
Yeah, it was.
kinda
It
interesting.
didn't feel like a gender thing. It was a sexuality thing. Like this is.
Yes.
I'm
I'm attracted kind of to
to
myself.
Didn't Lachlan ask that about two of the waitresses?
Yeah, the
that were there?
waitresses. Mm-hmm.
What did he ask?
The servers. He was like, "Is that a girl?" And they're like, "No, I don't think. I think it's a lady boy."
I thought he,
Yeah.
he used some type
Lachlan
of
said
term like
that?
that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was
That?
staff that were obviously trans.
at the White Lotus.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
totally missed
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it was real quick.
It was
Yeah.
very brief. And so
Yeah.
that's why I was trying to figure out what this idea of these trans women between, and that's why I said it's almost like, is the theme of this show like being obsessed with yourself to the point of you even desire yourself?
That is
sexually?
exactly what I got. This is
yeah.
the extreme epitome of being a narcissist. You're such a narcissist that you want to fuck yourself. So you would essentially like to have a woman that looks like you fucking you. Like it's a complete mind fuck, really.
It's
like,
very weird.
That whole monologue, I was like, what in the fuck?
You laugh?
Did I laugh? I was like, what the fuck is
I wasn't
I
laughing
laughed
either.
when Rick was like, oh, okay.
Well, that
When they
part
showed
was
his
funny.
face, I
That
was
part was funny,
crying.
yes.
Oh,
Because
wow.
I feel like that's the response I would give. Like, what?
Okay.
Not that I'm judging you, but I'm fucking judging you, kind of. Like, you can do whatever you want.
White
but
Lotus
why are you
always
telling me
has
this?
a moment
It does,
that
and
people
that
walk
was-
away
This
with like,
the eating ass moment
that was
of the
it.
season.
Because I kept waiting
I think
for
the
it.
jerking off
It
was
kept
the
escalating,
Yeah.
escalating. Then he just got there. You were like, wait, what?
That's all I saw people talking about was that monologue. Like,
It's a
what
meme
in
now. Like the
yes,
face
it
is a meme now. Uh-huh.
It's
they
like,
show Rick's
what in
face.
the hell are
It
you
was
talking about?
interesting, but at the same time, I did kind of find it a little bit problem. Because I mean, that's like a stereotype that Thailand has, is that
I thought it was a popular thing. Though,
it
right?
might be, but it just seemed like,
People go there for that.
sure.
all this stuff.
Yeah, I know, Spike. I don't know.
I'm telling you that. I've seen this before. Like,
Sure.
y'all don't watch HBO?
I'm listening to you, bro.
I remember.
Like,
It is a thing.
Yeah,
Like,
I
He
don't-
said
At least
it's
if you-
documentary.
yeah, like
Was it a
trying to
documentary or a
clean
show?
it was something on HBO.
But was it a show or a
It
documentary?
was real, like a real life thing. It wasn't like a drama based thing. This
Yeah,
was like a
I don't know. I
documentary.
mean, it didn't bother me. It was just like, this is kind of weird that y'all are putting this in here. Because like the second they brought up Thailand, I was like, okay, at some point you're gonna bring up the Taiwanese trans thing at some point. And then when they didn't, I was like, all right, cool. They're not gonna go there. And then when they went there, I was like, all right, I expected this. That's why I didn't laugh. I was like, all right, I expected this was gonna come out at some point.
I think I was looking for that to be the opportunity for them to dig into the culture a little bit more. So maybe if there was more explanation or more like integration of other things, Ty, and how this maybe interacts with, I still am confused.
But I think if they did that, then that would have been more problematic. If
Mm.
they used that situation to delve more into Thai culture,
the monologue and
the monologue
okay.
about I like to get fucked
I want
by
to
women
have
that
sex
look
with
like
myself.
me.
Yeah.
I think if they used that to be like, okay, let's explore other Thai culture, because I don't know if that's even considered
Cultural?
a cultural thing.
I got you.
I think that would be like Europeans talking about black culture and being like, well, they shoot each other and they do drugs. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay, I get you.
I don't know if it's
Yeah.
that intrinsically like linked, but maybe I'm totally wrong too. I never saw this documentary you're talking about.
Spike
I
sent
don't
it to you.
Trying to save.
It's fine.
So back to the Ratcliffs though. So after the whole, Saxon's repulsed. Lachlan's confused. Piper admits that she wants to stay here for a year. So Victoria is now concerned she's going to lose her baby because we're Christian.
We're Christian.
And meanwhile, the dad is trying to figure out how to kill everybody because he don't want to admit that he done lost all their money. And he's having fantasies of killing his entire family and trying to figure out how to do it in real life. To which he decides, he gets the gun. He steals Guy Talk's gun. He's going to kill his wife and himself. He's having these images, and then Guy Talk gets the gun, so now he's got to figure out another way to do it, to which he decides to grind up the suicide fruit and make pina coladas. And when he realized
Pina coladas.
and then he realizes that Lachlan is the only one out of the family who's really not obsessed with money. So he's going to kill everyone except Lachlan, because Lachlan's the only good one in the family, which I did think that was kind of interesting. That he's slowly watching how much this money has ruined all of his family except for this youngest one yet.
Yep.
So he's going to allow the youngest one to live. He decides not at the last minute not to give him the death pina coladas, but then we have Lachlan who makes smoothies in a dirty ass blender and drinks the last of it. So we think that Lachlan is dead at the end of the last episode, to which he just miraculously wakes up.
I was wondering if most of the poisoned fruit was blended in with the rest of it to where it wasn't enough left over to kill him. That was my suspicion. I did think he was dead, but when he woke back up, miraculously, I was like, oh, okay, that's probably what happened. That's the only way for me to make it make sense.
I ain't like it either. I thought he should have stayed dead.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I think that would have been a prime justification or a prime punishment for the dad.
Mm-hmm.
But then you wouldn't have the final scene, which showed them all switching roles. So I think that's why they brought him back.
Who switched roles?
Oh,
Help me out.
Lachlan and Saxon and Piper, they all changed. Like if you remember how they were at the beginning versus how they were at the end,
Mm-hmm.
like Lachlan is doing what Saxon was doing at the beginning. So Lachlan is now wearing sunglasses and he's got like a hoodie on. And if you look at
I noticed that.
Oh yeah, they switch roles because like
Saxon, when they switch shorts, remember they switched boxers too.
What?
Yeah,
What?
I think they switched boxers after the orgy or whatever they had.
That wasn't an orgy.
No, that wasn't an orgy. That was just a
freak off.
That was
Whatever.
a freak. Yeah,
But yeah, they end up wearing each other's boxers.
Oh, I did not notice that at all. But yeah, Lachlan at the end is wearing sunglasses and he's kind of like dressed with like a hoodie or whatever. And then Saxon is reading that spirituality book that Chelsea
So
gave
he's
him.
Piper now.
He's basically Piper. Well, I don't know if you can say that either, but like Piper is now wearing that really extravagant outfit.
She's a princess.
As opposed
she's
to
embraced.
Yeah. So they've all kind of like
interesting.
changed. Except the mom. The mom didn't change at all.
Victoria is who she is. I'm a Tar Heel.
And she was like, I can't live without it. So I'd rather be dead. Yep. I thought it was interesting that
being broke.
watching Tim go through everything mentally, we would see him wearing the Duke shirt.
Mm-hmm.
What's the icon? What's the mascot for the Duke?
The Blue Devil.
The Blue Devil.
Mm.
So he was having these devilish and intentions, or what he did was symbolic of that. I thought that was interesting.
That's interesting.
But too many head fakes for me.
Too many what?
Head fakes. Like,
yeah,
because it's just like,
he shot him and he didn't.
Yeah, he shot him and then he didn't. He's gonna drink, because I would have preferred to see him drink the pina coladas. I was like, oh, he's really gonna do it. And then he slapped the glass out of his son's hand. I'm like, come on.
I knew that wasn't gonna be the end because there was still another episode left.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think Lachlan should have died because even though he's confused about his sexuality and all these things, and he's a quote unquote people pleaser, I haven't seen many people talking about the fact that he kind of assaulted his brother. His brother was completely drunk. If this was a reverse situation, his brother was his sister, the conversation about those two would be completely different. But he reached over and jerked his brother off as his brother was basically blackout drunk.
Interesting.
I don't think we would make excuses if this was a man and a woman situation.
That is a very interesting perspective.
When he drunk the concoction, I thought that was going to be kind of his punishment for what he did. But that when he came back to life and being like, I saw God, I was like, wait, what, dude? What?
That's a really good observation, Mike, because Saxon did not want to take drugs. He didn't want to do none of that. He said out the gate. So he was pressured into doing any of that and from his brother. So
was he pressured by Lachlan or was he pressured by the two girls?
No,
both
brother.
of them.
His brother literally damn near put the pill in his mouth.
Lachlan put the pill in Saxon's mouth?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. I never thought about that until you said that. It is a really interesting observation because if that was a girl, it would definitely be a different.
Yeah, there would have to be a trigger warning at the beginning of the episode.
That part. It's funny and a lot of people would be like, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said it's amusing because it was two dudes and his reaction to it, but it would have been totally different.
It wouldn't be amusing anymore, would it?
Right.
I didn't think that was amusing.
Huh?
I didn't think that was.
I thought his reaction was amusing to it. Like, he couldn't wrap his mind around. He was like, "Wait."
I was just, I was just like, "Oh my god, that's nah."
I think what he's getting at the amusing part is like when Chelsea told him,
she's like, "No,"
and he was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, you did. You guys hooked up last night," and he was like, "What?" Of course, we're laughing, but if that was a woman,
that is,
and she was like, "Yeah, last night your brother fingered you." And she was like, "What?" We wouldn't be laughing. We'd be like, "Oh my god!"
And you was drunk.
And you were
And
blackout
And if
drunk
those were
and don't
two
remember.
guys
Damn.
talking about it and laughing about
That
it,
too.
yeah.
Damn.
It would be a completely different situation.
Yeah, that's
but
a
I have
really good
not
observation.
seen anyone even discussing
I
this.
think
And I'm
because
like,
people are so like wrapped up in the incestuousness of it
Yep.
and trying to figure out like the fact that it's two brothers that we're not
Yeah.
even taking into consideration that if this was a male female thing.
I'm like
Or
Chelsea.
even-
There's not enough drugs in the world
No.
that will convince me to hook up with my
see,
brother.
that part made me laugh out loud. I'm sorry.
Chelsea is hilarious.
There's
Yeah.
not enough drugs in the world to make me hook up with my brother.
Even
Yeah.
too, now that you're saying that, even if that wasn't his brother, and that was just another male,
Another guy,
it
it would still be
assault.
assault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would
You would
still
look
be
at it
assault.
totally different.
The only thing that one of the things that disappointed me about the Ratcliff
No cum shot.
was that I really wanted to see Victoria's reaction when she found out they were
I was
broke.
going to say that. Kid.
Oh,
When she found out
when they
what?
were
When they
broke?
found out they were broke, I wanted to see that.
I
Oh,
felt
I didn't need to
I
see
needed
that.
robbed.
I needed
'Cause
to
you
see
know
their
what she's gonna
phones
do.
start going off, and like them, like being like,
We
wait,
saw
what?
Saxon
We
look
saw-
up like,
yes.
oh fuck, but he's gonna be okay because he confessed like, I'm attached to you. My identity is you. I am
Yeah.
you. But now that he's reading his books, he's basically removed himself from that and building his
I don't
own
think he
I
that
don't
far
think
removed
so.
yet. He ain't that healed.
Nah.
Well,
he's
ain't-
still
He's on the
fucked.
road to heal.
Well,
yeah.
road to healing, I guess is a better way to put it.
I mean, I think we can just imagine that she's just gonna leave.
Mm.
You
She's
think
just,
so?
oh yeah,
Yeah, she's out of there.
oh yeah.
I think
She's not
She's
gonna stick with. She's
out.
not gonna
She
stick
don't
with that
seem
man.
like a
You don't
leaver.
think his
Shit.
You don't think his speech of "we're gonna get through this" as a family?
No,
No,
she flat out
no.
told him.
I was like,
she
you know,
did.
she
I
might
can't
not.
be broke.
She might not have to leave. He probably going to jail.
Bro, Victoria
But
is
she-
who she is. She has
Yes.
never showed anything different.
She's gonna go
That's
find
true.
another man that has.
Yes. She gonna be with LBH. She gonna come back to Thailand. She gonna find out one of them old bald headed guys
Mm.
and
I
come right
love
back.
That. Yep.
I liked when she found out the daughter wasn't going to go and she gave the thumbs up. I thought that was hilarious.
Oh,
for her character.
The even funnier part is when she said, you know, we're fortunate to have this lifestyle, and if we don't enjoy it, this is an insult to people that don't have it. Oh my god,
And the daughter was like, "You're right."
I was dying.
Hey, she was so good. And
She
when she was
was.
talking to the girl that was on the boat, she was like, "Why are you with him? I could take
Oh,
you.
yeah,
I
she
could
can
take you
find
back
you
to
a nice
Carolina.
guy.
Find you a nice man." That
Funny.
was,
She was like, no, I really love Roper.
she was like, "Do
Oh
you?"
my god, she was so good.
She killed it, man. Oh,
And I haven't seen her in much besides she was just in Beau is Afraid.
Right.
But other than that, man, god
man,
damn.
she killed this.
She
role.
picks
did
good
kill
roles
this
for
role.
herself. Okay, so kind of attached to the Ratcliffs, we talked about Chelsea and Rick. Now, this was my personal, like, most interesting
love
storyline. So Chelsea and Rick are a couple. Rick is into this and that, and they are here, and Rick is pain and Chelsea is light. And she is his soulmate, even though he will not accept it. I don't know why she is drawn to this man because he treats her like shit every chance that he gets.
She thinks
But
she can fix him.
She does. She's here to save his life. And it seems like he's going to allow her to, but then they have the tragic ending. What do we think of Rick and Chelsea's relationship, guys?
Did anybody suspect that was going to be his dad? You're talking about the relationship.
That was a twist.
The relationship, just talking about that, yes, just being introduced to him, he was withdrawn. He wanted no parts to do with her. It was explained because he didn't have his dad, and that was really bothering him. He was trying to resolve that. But he damn near killed her one time with the fucking snakes.
He did. That cobra almost took her out.
So
I just want him to be free.
right. And that was the second time because she kept saying death comes in threes. There was the robbery that happened, and then that was the snakes. And in a couple of those instances, you saw that he really did care for her and that he displayed that openness, but he could not get out of this dark place he was in because he was like, I went through this whole life and my life is miserable because I lost my dad early on. So, and I just really I was like, man, why is she still with him?
I'm trying to figure it out.
I just couldn't understand it outside of what Mike just said is that she wanted to fix him.
Mhm.
But she took all this shit to a certain point, she would butt back,
Yes.
a couple of times. And she did make him do things that he didn't want to do in hopes that he would enjoy himself. But yeah, I'm with Mike. As this season went on, I came to just adore Chelsea because she gave no fucks.
She didn't take none of it personal because she knew it wasn't her, it was him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just didn't get why he was so miserable. He was like a miserable person. He was trying to take it out on him, and she was trying to fix him as far as being the light and all of that. But he was just miserable.
Wouldn't you
from
be?
like day one? For what?
He grew up with a mother that was a drug addict that OD'd in front of him. He didn't grow up with a dad, and then on her deathbed, his mother, dying of drug overdose, said, "Hey, this guy murdered your father." You're not going to just leave that and be happy.
You don't just leave that behind, but someone who's trying to be nice to you as Chelsea would, it seems like you would have some type of openness to her. Like he's gone through his whole life as a 55-plus-year-old man acting that way. That's
Depression finally took him out. I mean, depression will do that. And when you're especially dealing with something that traumatic, like, yeah, he's at the point where he can't fake it no more.
He probably wasn't always like that. It's like he probably just got to that point.
Oh, see, I took it like he was always like that.
That's what I did. But when she said depression caught up, I said I could see it happening overnight.
I think he was like that the whole time. And the last thing you want is some overly positive motherfucker in your ear all the
Then
time.
how did he get with her? There had to be some sort of relationship.
That's my thought process.
Yeah, he probably was always sad. I don't know what got him to the point where he would be this sad, or if he's always been where he is now. I didn't think it seemed like a bubbling over, like he couldn't deal with it anymore to me.
Maybe it was worse because he was there to do a thing to his dad. Maybe that's why it was so bad.
He was there to what?
To kill
there specifically to find the father.
Right, head on dealing with. Okay,
yeah,
that makes sense.
There we go.
And I mean, he was with her because she was young and pretty, and he was old. And I mean, he's a good looking guy for an old guy, but I mean, I never questioned why he was with her. There's plenty of dudes that date pretty girls that are annoying as fuck, and vice versa. So I didn't question that part. And I didn't question her why she was with him either. Because she just gives the impression of she falls in love with somebody's aura.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the fact that he's a dick doesn't really matter because at some point she's going to be able to fix him. But I didn't like how his story ended with just in the terms of like the dude being his father. Mainly because I called that on the episode 1.
What?
Because it was so cliche. I was like, that's really his dad. I swear to God, you can ask my girl. She was like, oh yeah, that would make sense. But when they did it, it was like, that was the worst way to introduce that theory because it was like, it doesn't mean anything now.
Right.
He's dead.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, why would your fucking husband's dying? Why would Sri Talai even yell that he was your father? Who cares? He's dying right now.
I saw a TikTok where people were speculating that Sri Talai actually was the father. And that she was the whole conversation about the lady boys.
That's the problem.
And that she was going to be the father.
Jesus Christ, man. People's internalized homophobia and transphobia is wild. And they'll probably say that dumb shit and think they're being like open-minded. Like that would be a ridiculous plot twist.
I needed ridiculous because this plot twist was horrible.
Yeah.
That would have been wild as hell. That would have been some White Lotus shit.
I think he would have gotten in trouble if he went that route. That's too much.
He should have told him he was his dad when he was in the room, when he pushed him over in the chair.
Bro, that shit was funny. That's all he could do was just topple him over.
That was funny though. That was hilarious. Because he has the worst bodyguards.
Yeah.
Man, they
was
was
like,
out there smoking
Gloria
cigarettes.
Hatchet? Scott Glenn. Gloria Hatchet?
Yeah.
It was like, oh, man, no way.
I liked both of them dying at the end because that was pretty much foretold from the beginning of the show. Like she kept saying our futures are tied together.
Yeah.
So
We'll be together
what you
forever.
do happens to me and what happens to me, but I thought it was interesting that she died first. She shot. And then you see, okay, yes. So whatever he did is tied to her. But then when he gets shot, it's like, oh no, you see that they're both tied to each other.
That is, yeah.
But we don't even know if she was dead yet. Because I thought it was interesting when they fall in the water. She falls face down. He falls and he rolls over on his back, so he's looking up. She's
I thought
looking down.
she died while he was holding her.
We do. I did too, but then when I think about it afterwards, it's like we don't know for a fact that she was all the way dead.
Oh, they rolled two bodies out, remember?
No, he's talking before they fell in the water.
Before he fell.
Yes, we know they died.
I was trying to.
We know they died.
He's like, first you didn't get COVID with the pit. Now your dumbass didn't even realize that she was dead, Mike. Jesus. No, I meant like she could have been shot and then like fell in the water. And She might have still been alive, but she drowned. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I did not like the he's your dad. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It was useless. It was like, why? Who cares at this point?
Yeah, because he hated his dad, the same guy that there was nothing.
There was nothing. He didn't have a chance to sit with him.
Right. That was what I was gonna say. It'd be different if like he didn't die and had to accept the fact that he killed the very person he was trying to avenge, but we don't even get an opportunity to get that. We didn't even get a reaction out of him, really, honestly.
No, they
like,
showed his face and that was it.
Yeah, and his face, it's like they showed his face, but then by the time we see his face, he realizes that Chelsea shot.
Yep.
So we see him mourning her versus realizing what he's done.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was a waste of a twist. They almost should have just left. They should have just left it alone and let him shoot the man, and that's it.
Yeah.
I did like the twist that if you really think about it, all of this would have been avoided had what's his name? What's Belinda's son's name? Zion not been there or had not went and got the therapy session or whatever, because Rick was trying to talk to the therapist. But she had a session with Zion.
Mm-hmm.
And if he had been able to speak with the therapist, all of this might have been avoided.
Yeah.
So I found all of that super interesting.
He was like, I really need to talk to you. Nah, for real.
No, I really need to talk to you. I'm about to kill this motherfucker, bro. I really need to talk to you. But yeah, I thought all of that was super interesting.
Yeah, but nah, Chelsea was great. Her and what's the other girl?
Chloe.
Bro, they just always told it like it is. They stayed bullying Saxon.
You know what? That was the other thing that we didn't talk about. That final conversation between Chloe and Saxon. I think that was also the turning point for him, because when they were talking and then he says to her, like, sorry, I couldn't do that cuck thing for you. And she's like, oh, it's fine. I'll just go find somebody else.
And she did.
And you see his face. I think that's him realizing once again that he's not important. He's not special. She can go find 30 of you. You're not important.
Mm-hmm.
But then he's still also having to think about the fact that his brother, his nerdy, awkward brother, got some ass and I didn't.
No, they did have sex. Him and Chloe had sex.
She said she
Saxon
slept with
and
both
Chloe?
of them.
Yeah, she said she slept with both of them.
Yeah.
When
they
the girl
just
asked her the next day, and she was like, I had sex with both of them.
Yeah, she slept with Saxon first, and then she slept with Lachlan.
I thought she was implying that. I thought she was just saying that all of them had sex, meaning she was getting fucked by Lachlan while Lachlan was jerking him off. I never got the impression that her and Saxon ever had sex.
They show it. They show in the flashbacks. It's like she's sitting there and she's straddling him. So they were having sex first, and then she went and had sex with Lachlan.
Oh, I missed all of that. I don't remember them straddling at all.
Yeah.
So she got off his dick. Why is that so funny? Whatever. Y'all are stupid. So she got off his dick and then went
got on Lachlan's.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I missed that. Okay.
It was quick.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
That's not what she said. I don't know. Maybe to you. Not to me, Spike.
I'm talking about her.
Oh, Chloe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It must not have been good if she hopped off his to get on his little brother.
Man, Chelsea never let up on Saxon.
She did. That was hilarious.
Man, like every time. But which kind of goes to what you were saying. Like he's thinking he's special. You're gonna sit there. What do you say? What we got to do to get a drink around here?
She like get up to the bar and get one.
And turned around.
She told him he was soulless.
Yes. Yep.
And I think at the end, he's finally starting to realize that, which is why he's reading those books, man. Yeah, I thought their story was super interesting.
Yeah.
And she just seemed so unbothered by anything she heard. She had no judgment at all. Even when she found out that about the brothers sleeping together, and she was like, oh, yeah, you should go. Or when...
Wait, you talking about Chelsea?
When Chloe... Yeah. Well,
Chelsea thought it was weird as fuck. Which made it really
I think
funny.
I'm talking about, I think I remember it, not that part, but when Chloe was like pitching Gary and her having sex,
the cuck
and
situation.
she was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, you should do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead for it."
Yeah.
She was just there.
Yeah, Chloe was not impressed by any of it.
He was like, I am not like this. He said, yes, you are.
She wouldn't let him off. She wouldn't let him breathe.
Why are you looking like that?
Because I thought Saxon was bothered not only by the fact that he got dirked off by his brother, but by the fact that his brother got some ass. I'm really trying to rack my brain about him fucking Chloe. I don't know how I would have missed that.
I didn't get the impression that he was bothered by the fact that Lachlan got ass. I just thought he was bothered by the fact that he was involved in the ass.
I thought it was both situations. I need to go back and look because I did not. I've been thinking this whole time they never had sex because otherwise, why would he be so put off with the idea of fucking her for Gary or Greg, whatever? Because Greg wanted to watch.
Because he would have been watched. Yeah.
What do you mean?
So it's still another. It's not just about him.
I gotta go back and
And remember,
look.
Gary looked at him. Kind of like,
Yeah, that shit was funny. Bro, that shit was funny.
What? So okay, help me out with this, guys, because I know Gary Greg kept saying, "I'm trying to work on something." Was there a con involved with this situation?
No, I think this was just Gary living his best life.
Yeah.
And part of living his best life is him being a fucking cuck.
Wow.
And we also have to think about the fact that Gary is probably in some way queer or at least bisexual.
Yeah.
Because he was fucking
That's
with
right.
the gay dudes from season 1 or season
that's
2.
Right.
So you have to think about
So
the fact
he's
that,
not satisfied. So okay.
Yeah, he might not just be satisfied with fucking Chloe
Because
he wants some dick in the room.
I still think that story was about him. That the gay
Which
dude
story?
told his season
It
2.
was.
It was about him, right?
Yeah.
The story.
He
I
fell
don't
He
in
was
love
saying
with
that he
him.
fell in love with a cowboy and all that and that story.
Oh, yeah, because he
Gary.
showed a picture of Gary with the cowboy hat on.
yeah.
Yeah, I knew that part. Yeah.
So he is at least bisexual.
So he's at least bisexual, or at least some kind of, what is it?
Yeah.
Sexual fluid or some shit. I don't
Fluid.
know. Fluid, right? So yeah, I thought that story was actually interesting.
He probably was the overall winner.
Gary, a wild boy, bro.
He paid off he ain't got to worry about that no more. He got the biggest house on the island. Yeah,
He got one of the finest girls in the room, and he about to get some young boy dick.
Yikes.
Bruh,
Jeez.
he's winning. Gary is winning.
Kudos to Gary. I don't think we have any other characters, guys. The only thing I will say is that the biggest unnecessary thing in this whole show was Fabian. What was the point of the office manager, Streets of Lies?
One in the scene.
Because
That
there's
was
always an
useless.
office manager in every season.
Why did we need this?
We didn't live up to the other one.
Not at all.
He wasn't nowhere
We did not
near
need
that guy
Fabian
all.
at
Yeah.
all.
He was just,
He was
yeah.
just like odd.
Well, yeah,
we
he just
did.
had
I
no
don't-
confidence, and his whole identity was not also being seen and stuff like that. So yeah,
Useless.
that was it.
Yeah.
But
He was
because
useless.
I again, I was disappointed because when he got up there and got ready to sing, I was like, this is gonna be
Something
awful.
happened. I
thought it
thought
was
maybe
gonna be
he
funny,
was
yeah.
the
Yeah, I
shooter.
thought it was going to be terrible, but
Yeah,
it's fine.
but he was like, I was like, oh, that's it.
I wanted him to be the shooter, like to give him meaning.
Yeah.
That would actually been interesting.
But maybe that was the point of him, is to not have
Meaning.
any meaning in here, since it was kind of all about people's sense of self.
it's
Yeah.
just opposite of what the other two seasons.
The other
gave
two
us.
usually drive the
Yeah.
season,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
He
They do.
was-
Yeah.
I will say that I did like the way that they had this twist of there being like a shooter situation versus just, oh, somebody died and we
Mhm.
learning how they died. So I did like, because I think that was one of my complaints about the second season. It's like, okay, y'all are doing, it's like the same kind of formula with the murder, but the murder was just done differently this season. So that had me with high hopes, and they were just consistently dashed
Hey,
throughout this season.
Those bodyguards were terrible, but I got to give it to what's Chelsea?
Rick.
Rick.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
Rick
he-
took
Yeah,
them
good
motherfuckers
eye,
out,
didn't
bro.
I assumed he was military.
Had to be.
Something.
I was
That's how
okay.
they
I
knew
thought
each other.
so. I
Him
thought
and-
so. I couldn't remember.
Who
And I was
knew?
gonna,
Oh, him and Sam Rockwell's character knew.
Yeah, that's how they knew each other. They went in the army together.
Sam Rockwell was gone.
Man, what?
bro.
Listen, he said.
He said, "I go to the monastery the next
My
day."
man said, he said, "Ain't you sober?" He said, "That's it. Sailed. It's over with."
I was like, oh, he was
So-
not lying. Like
He
he
wasn't.
got. It's like
He
once
gets
he
to
was
it,
there, he
bro.
was gone.
Yeah, once it's gone, he gone.
I
But-
love that.
Like,
At
this
least he
nigga
got
is
back on the
fixing
wagon.
chairs.
Yeah, he went back.
Yeah, that's what I was happy to see. I was like, "Oh man, it's a wrap for him. He's done."
You know what? The other, before we wrap up, the other scene that bothered me because it went no fucking where was why did they have Kate and Victoria knowing each other?
Okay.
That went no fucking where.
It didn't, but
The whole time I thought Kate was gonna find her phone. She was gonna see that the husband was wrapped up in some shit, and she was gonna tell Victoria, or she was gonna tell the husband or something, and then that was gonna be a whole thing where it's like the husband has to keep Kate away from Victoria. But it was like, if you're not even including any of this, why did you show that Kate knew her?
I felt like it was just another way to show that like Kate's kind of in her own way invisible. Like there's nothing about her character in that friend group that really does anything.
Gotcha.
So she's just that type of personality. It's like,
Easily
oh,
forgettable.
you were okay. And that's what she said. She said, am I that forgettable? And they were kind of like,
Yep.
Okay.
yeah. So it was just a
Okay.
testament to Kate's personality.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, because Lachlan was like, "Mom, that was rude." She was like,
What do you want me to do?
"Go, like I don't remember her."
I was
remember
borderline
her.
felt
I don't
her
know
though.
her.
I'm like, okay, we saw each other
For
in a
real.
baby shower 10 years
Yeah,
ago.
why are you even talking to
No,
me?
that
I
was-
don't
Okay,
know.
that
girl.
was
Like,
rude.
I mean, I get it was rude, but it's
You
like,
Mike know he would react the same way. Somebody you met 10 years
The literal
ago.
thing literally happened yesterday. We were
I don't
out
think
at
Mike would have
breakfast.
done that.
I would
you
not
do?
do that.
what did you do?
I
We
think
were at breakfast, and there was this guy that was at the table next to us, and we caught eyes when we came in. But I was just like, whatever. But as I was sitting there, I was like, I feel like I fucking know that guy. I feel like I know him, but I can't place it. And after us sitting there for an hour eating, I got up and I was like, bro, I don't mean to be weird, but do we know each other? And he looked up and he goes, Mike Seatown. Haven't seen this guy since the 90s.
Aw.
And we sat there and talked for like 10 minutes.
Did you know him though?
Yeah, we used to not we didn't like hang out deep hard like that, but like stop. But that was a bad choice of words. I don't know where that came from, Spike. I don't know where that came from, Spike.
You should have seen my face.
I don't know where that came from, Spike. My vocabulary is off today. But no, we didn't like hang out a lot.
Right.
But like we were at shows a lot together. We were, he was in punk bands, I was in bands,
That's
whatever.
the
But like
difference.
Yeah, see,
but
you know him.
we
though.
didn't but I didn't
You
know him
remember
like
him.
that.
It's like,
But it took a minute. I remembered him. I was like, oh yeah, shit, Tony. And we talked for a hot minute and that was it.
it's like if somebody came and did a pod with you 10 years ago and you was on vacation and you ran into them. It's like, hey, Mike, you remember we did that podcast together at one time?
I would be like, that's happened to me too. I'd be
Really?
like, I don't remember, but I used to drink a lot. That's always my excuse. I used to drink a lot, so I'm sure I met you. But cool, man. Good to see you again. I'm not going to be like, okay, all right. That's rude as fuck.
It is
man.
It is
It is
rude,
rude.
but I mean, was she off her meds by this point?
Nah,
Oh, that's a good point.
She probably was high.
That's
No,
a
she
good
was still
point.
on him.
She was still
Was
on.
she?
Yeah, because Tim didn't take the bottle until later. I
Okay.
believe.
Yeah, so
Okay.
He
she
took all
was
that
drugged.
shit.
So I also attributed it to that, like she was drugged up.
Okay.
So yeah, so she didn't really have much of a filter. It's kind of like, all right. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but she didn't have a filter even after she was off
Yeah,
the
it seemed
drugs.
like she was the
I
same
think that's
on and
just
off
her.
drugs.
but okay.
I don't know.
Touche.
It's not a big deal, but I did think that was rude. But you're making it make sense. It didn't make sense before, but what you said, I get
Yeah, I think it was just more a testament to
it. To Kate.
to Kate.
Got it. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, but that's the season, guys. I would like to say you guys made me enjoy it a little bit more, but you didn't.
Damn.
It still was not good to me, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna be completely honest. It makes me not excited
You
for
might
the
be
next
out.
season.
Oh, I'm still here for season 4, bro.
I really hope it. I will watch it just for on the hopes that they bring it back around. I know there was some drama around this season, like the dude who did the
Yes.
score, the music, and him
composer.
and
Yeah.
and Mike White weren't. Yeah, it was some petty stuff that I saw. Like
if you watch any interview with Mike White, he's kind of an asshole.
Often say,
I was
it
that's
seems
the
like he's
came
hard
off
to work
that
with.
way.
He's a dick.
Mm.
He's
And that-
very sassy. And I don't mean that as far as like
I know.
sexuality,
Yeah,
but
we
like
got you.
he's very like he's like I used
Petty.
to be in dead end comments.
Mm.
He's like somebody says something, he's immediately in there like
Yeah, because he was responding to all the people like
Mhm.
and they comments on the last show and shit. It's I did this and I did that.
right.
So
And he was like, "You need to just be here with me. You're in my bed. This is my fucking bed.
Mhm.
And if you don't
Oh,
like
he's
where I'm
on
going, yes,
yeah, he
just
really-
get out of my fucking bed then.
Yikes.
Just get out of my bed." It's like, dude, just chill.
So it might not
out.
make it that long. Because I was wondering, because it seems like they're doing like 7 deadly sins, with each season focusing on something dealing with that.
I could see that.
We didn't talk about the monkeys.
Help me
Man,
out.
Them damn monkeys, bro.
I think it was the hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil thing. Because the common thread was 3 throughout this whole thing. 3 bad things happen. There's 3 siblings, and if you look at them at the very beginning,
Yep.
they all matched up with hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Lachlan was speak no evil. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how Saxon fits in with C, but Piper fits in with hear because she had the headphones on.
Saxon had the shades on.
There you go.
Yeah, he had the
there you
shades
go.
on.
That's it then. Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
I mean, okay.
And then all of that is switched out towards the end. But I think it makes the most sense with Lachlan with the speak no evil because he had such a hard time communicating what he wanted and
Standing
where he
up for
needed to
himself,
be.
yeah.
With Piper, she was just like, I'm not hearing anything that's happening. I just want to escape it and go be a monk. But the see no evil thing, yes, he had shades on, but I'm hoping there's something deeper than that I just didn't catch.
Yeah, it seemed like every time the monkey squeal, bro, they'll pop up. It's like, oh,
yeah, something about to happen. The monkeys are here.
I guess.
The monkeys are here.
Yeah.
All right, well,
It was still good. I liked it.
Mm.
I think it'll be better on a rewatch.
I don't,
Probably
but
so.
I've tried. But no, I'm glad y'all enjoyed it though.
Well, you know, the first 2, I think he's just gonna. I don't know. He's just gonna have to figure out a way to top himself. But I don't know what people are thinking about this season. So
I haven't seen a lot of positive commentary. I've seen the people kind of like on it. At least in the Reddit thread, it's kind of like meh. I think it's consistent that this is the weakest of the 3, but it's just a matter of how much you did or did not enjoy it. But I think it's the consensus is this is the weakest season.
This was too much like a WB movie towards the end. I think that it didn't stand up to White Lotus's typical this is deep and, you know.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It did get a lot of commentary though. Like a lot of people have been talking about it, at least on like Twitter and Reddit. Like every week it was memes, conversations, threads about it. So
You'll be fine for season 4.
I'm sure we'll see. But
they're not gonna cancel that shit.
No, they're not gonna cancel it, but I do hope that he needs to bring it back.
I agree.
And I am curious to see if the score is different, how that plays a part, because the music does play a big part.
Hey, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Hey man, Thailand music was jamming, bro. Did y'all hear that?
You like
Hey
it?
man, hey, I had to Shazam some of that shit, bro. Every time that shit came on, that shit was grooving, Mike.
Nah, bro.
What?
And Moot couldn't dance either, so I was just like,
Well, I ain't worried about that. But in the first couple of episodes, bro, they had some joints, man. I don't play one.
That's okay. All right, guys. Thanks so
That's
much.
okay. You don't wrap this shit up.
Thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. It's FPS Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, guys. Bye.